Alrighty, here we go again. So, should I worry about converting people? Yes and no. I think that it's funny to me how how a lot of these anarchists and Marxist Leninists and Maoists and whoever else, these social democrats or whatever, they talk about converting people back, or they de-radicalize people from the far right and all this sort of thing. And to me, it's just so, for a group of folks in general who consider themselves maybe agnostic or atheistic, to use the word convert, obviously more of a religious reference, in general, I'll be honest with you, I don't really care about converting people. In general, I care that people are going to be smart enough, and I say that loosely, smart enough. I mean, yeah, smart, but people that are aware, I'll put it that way, people who are aware enough of their surroundings to realize that not everyone has their best interests at hand. That's all. That's what I'm telling y'all. Do I expect y'all to be loyal and, just love, just love everything I say? Hell no. Hell no. I don't expect that. If someone says something that they don't, if I say something that someone doesn't like, I'll put it that way, then okay, I'll be like, oh, okay, that's your opinion. All right. If it's a Voss fan that comes in here, go ahead. I'll be like, oh, okay. That's fine then. All right. I used to try to spurk out and try to argue with these folks, but I've come to the point now where I don't give a shit. Let them not like me. Okay. I think it's interesting when you see these types of folks who get so worried about, oh, we're converting people, or, people like, you hear Justin King is converting people, to the left, or, or that he's de-radicalizing people. And mostly it's like, but then you take a look at his comments. I mean, just to put it into perspective, it's all boomer shit libs for the most part. It's boomer shit libs that are making the comments, And then he'll say positive stuff about Solzhenitsyn. And he'll say, well, actually, I haven't looked into let me see if I can get the accent. I haven't looked into the details, but I kind of like Solzhenitsyn. Really? You kind of like Solzhenitsyn, huh? Okay. The guy who talked about the Vietnam War was a good thing and, was considered more of a Nazi in a lot of ways. But yeah, he was a good guy, I guess, in so many ways, right? But yeah, this is the guy who they like, who says, yeah, landmines are bad. It's like, okay, who's producing landmines on a huge level? Mostly it's IEDs, and he doesn't mention that in his most recent video, as of April 8th of 2021. But I would say, why are you talking about random stuff like that? To me, this is just pandering. But beyond that, I'm sorry. I just saw that video and I was just like, oh man, it's such cringe. But I'm not so worried about converting people and so worried about de-radicalizing people, this and that. People do need to be radicalized. The problem is that what side do they radicalize to? That's the real problem that people have, right? You want people to be radicalized in some form or another so that you can have them as your shock troops, right? That's the whole idea of it. While you sit back and wait. That's the whole idea of these types of things, is that you are meant to stir the pot, say a whole lot of wild shit, and then say, I didn't know what they would do. That's the whole idea of it, right? Now, for me, hopefully I'm a little bit smarter. I don't advocate for any specific actions. For me, I just say that what's going to happen is going to happen, right? Now, of course, I know people are going to see this in the future and probably say, you're being very slick, aren't you? And I'm going to say, you bet your ass I am. Because guess what? I'm not going to get gassed up because somebody saw my videos or something like that and decided to do something. No, not going to happen. Hopefully not. But I do want to say that conversion to one thing or another doesn't mean anything, Because the thing is that I just want folks to, to be so-called, I'm going to say the term, I know it's going to be cringe, but free thinkers. I want folks to be able to think for themselves and say, yeah, this is some bullshit. That's what I want people to say. Yeah, this is some bullshit. Not create some online cult or whatever. It's like if I was really worried about the money and whatnot, would I still be here recording these StreamYard videos? Why don't I reach out to some bigger names or something like that and talk to them? Or whatever the case may be. Look, I would rather just, I just feel more comfortable recording a rant that may be, a little bit suspect. I'd rather record that than have, all of these different subscribers or whatever. It's like, it is what it is to me, right? But conversion is not my concern. I want people to be cognizant of where they are around them. And to finish up my point is I don't really care that much about converting people or this and that. In general, I think my subscribers have their own views. And to a point, I just realize it and just say, okay, well, I'm going to rock with this. But in general, do I expect, some, I don't know, some diehard, you know what? I'm not even going to, I'm just going to end it here and just say, just be careful of what you get yourself involved with as always. And just be careful out there. So see you later and goodbye.